Freedom, I never had the chance to run. Leave behind the said and done. Figure out what's to come. Reasons, all the bigger things I can't ignore. I'm not getting what I came here for. Gotta get ahead of something more. So I think I found a new way out, way beyond a shadow of doubt. 'Cause I can't breathe. And I guess I could be stronger now and leave it up to fate somehow. But I'm doing this for me. Give it up, baby, I'm not fooling anyone. Always going on and on. Can't you keep it to yourself for once? Oh, I think I found a new way out, way beyond your shadow of doubt. And I can't breathe. Oh, I hope you're keeping count of all the times you let me down, and all the things you said out loud, the bullshit I could cry about. And I know we could be stronger now and leave it up to fate somehow. But everything I do for me.
I get lost sometimes and I can't seem to find a light between the walls I built for myself right in my mind. And then you came over and you showed me love that I never had seen before. And now when I got you, it's all gonna be alright. Thinking about all the things we did tonight, what a time to be alive. Just you and I, just you and I. Only you can put the fire out. You can turn it all around. You can pick me off the ground, so we can fly again, so we can fly again. I've been trying hard not to go out of my mind, and all I need right now is for you to stay the night. But if you keep saying that you've got to here
wish you were near. I'll keep you right here beside me. I need to know I'm not alone. Now take it home as the night begins to fade away to yesterday. I wanna stay in this moment here. I need to know which way to go. Now take me home as the night begins to fade away to yesterday. I wanna stay in this moment here with you. In this moment here with you. In this moment here with you.
Getting hype when I aim up, elevating that game up, stepping up to the competition. Only first place, and that's how I'm living. I'm winning till they digging up my grave, eating all the things up on my plate. Game face when I step up into place. I was born and when I watched me elevate. I was born and when I watched me elevate. I was born and when I watched me elevate. I was born and when I watched me elevate. I was born and when I watched me elevate. Yeah. All in when I show up. Whole place about to blow up. Superior to that competition. I'm in first place, and that's how I'm living. I'm winning till they digging up my grave, eating all the things up on my plate. Game face when I step up into place. I was born and when I watched me elevate. I was born and when I watched me elevate. I was born and when I watched me elevate. I was born and when I watched me elevate.
keep you right here beside me. I need to know I'm not alone. Now take it home as the night begins to fade away to yesterday. I wanna stay in this moment here. I need to know which way to go. Now take me home as the night begins to fade away to yesterday. I wanna stay in this moment here with you. In this moment here with you. In this moment here with you.
Getting hype when I aim up, elevating that game up, stepping up to the competition. Only first place, and that's how I'm living. I'm with it till they digging up my grave, eating all the things up on my plate. Game face when I step up into place. I was born and when I watched me elevate. I was born and when I watched me elevate. I was born and when I watched me elevate. I was born and when I watched me elevate. I was born and when I watched me elevate. Yeah. All in when I show up. Whole place about to blow up. Superior to that competition. I'm in first place, and that's how I'm living. I'm with it till they digging up my grave, eating all the things up on my plate. Game face when I step up into place. I was born and when I watched me elevate. I was born and when I watched me elevate. I was born and when I watched me elevate. I was born and when I watched me elevate.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Simplay Motorsport. My name is Dan Davis, and we are back live once again for another round of our F1 2022 season. Sorry about the late start there, as we are just going live here in Austria for the next round of the championship, round 8 of the season here at the Red Bull Ring. And what a beautiful day of racing we have ahead of us. Currently on board with Emplava as he takes us around this beautiful circuit as well. Just a reminder as well that DJ Phil this evening will be carrying a qualifying ban after retiring last time out back in Silverstone, so he will obviously carry that through tonight and will have to stay in the pits for most of the session, so he will be starting from the back of the grid. But what a circuit we come to here in Austria. A beautiful circuit in the Spielberg, and a beautiful circuit indeed. It was originally called the A1 Ring, had some very controversial moments a few the years, as we had obviously the Rubens Barrichello and Michael Schumacher incident, where Rubens Barrichello had the race taken away from him because of team orders. But either way, we are back and live here at the Red Bull Ring, as it's now called. The shortest race of the season, other than, I believe, actually no, this might be the shortest race of the season. Monaco not too far away. And 10 corners around this amazing circuit. But if you class it as the MotoGP one, there is actually 11. But we are running the Grand Prix loop here this evening. And tonight is going to be an interesting night with racing, because their track limits is going to be very, very key here. A couple of information about the circuit. It's a FIA Grade 1, the GP loop, obviously because it is based here for the F1. And the capacity could take up to 105,000. And obviously the Netherlands, the Dutch love coming here, obviously, to support Max Verstappen over the years. And I said, the F1 has really been its main thing. A1 Ring from 1996 all the way to 2003. And down to modern day, it is now called the Red Bull Ring. And just a couple of information as well. The track record is actually held by Carlos Sainz Jr. in the McLaren 2020. He done a lap time of a 1:05.6. He holds the current record in race trim. And like I said, what a beautiful circuit. Very challenging and very easy to mess up as well. There's a couple of guys coming into the pits as we are on board with 4Z. I see a yellow flag just ahead. They've got to make sure if they're going to pit, they're going to be on the right side of that white line. Let's take a lap of this beautiful circuit with the Mercedes driver of 4Z as he heads up towards turn 1, making sure you hit your braking zone just at the 100-meter mark and get yourself turned in. Try and get the best exit, best run down the back straight, heading towards turn 2 and 3. DRS open, and this slight kink to the left is a left-hander. And then up to the 50-meter board, braking down all the way down to second gear, and try and make sure you get good traction so you can hit the DRS zone heading down towards turn 4. And again, down another downhill braking zone. Make sure you don't hit too much on the brakes and lock up and miss your braking, as Forzy just misses the apex there, just trying to get a good run out of 4 into 5, and then swings into 6, breaking up the 50 board, drop down 1 gear, possibly 2, but he's sticking with the 1. And then swinging into 7, runs a little bit wide, then launches you straight into 8, a little straight towards 9, and then into 10. This is where the limits are really going to be tested here. How far, how dare do you go across the line? And towards the final corner, Forzy, a very clean lap, a valid lap as well. DRS open towards the line, and he will go P2 with that lap. So a beautiful lap there from our man in the Mercedes-Benz. A couple others on and out lap. Currently exit Tibbs, the man who's been improving each round, has been getting quicker and quicker as each round goes by. Let's have a look who's in the chat here this evening. Nice to see Tracy once again supporting exit Tibbs as we are on board with him coming into the final sector. PN saying evening, and Ariel as well saying Smithy. Simplay Motorsport saying evening all. Tracy, hi everyone, let's have some good racing. Good luck from On All for Dubs. Evening all from Mummy D. And then we got Max Mulder. Tips going for the win today. It would be nice to see him get a win. Fury's granddad in the chat as well. Nice to see you on the chat, guys. Let's hear from you. Let's see who is going to take pole here tonight. And there will be a poll going out on who you think will take pole position here tonight. And so far, it is looking very, very juicy at the top at the minute. But it's all about nailing that lap, as we ask now the community. There is a poll up now on who you think is going to take pole position here tonight. And Tibbs is currently on the lap. It is valid as well, so we keep an eye on that. Daz Automatic, nice to see him in the chat. Best of luck. Best of luck indeed. And guys, if you haven't done so, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell to be notified so you don't miss a thing. While these guys are currently on qualifying, I will give you a quick rundown of what the championship looks like at this stage. I believe we're at the halfway stage, 16 rounds of F1. We see there Tibbs really pushing the limits. Is he going to go fastest? Yes, he does. Exit Tibbs on pole position as it stands. But all these guys still yet got a couple laps in them. As we will switch to Matt, he's got an invalid lap time. As we see also Fury's had a spin, so hopefully he can get it going as well. But the championship looks like this at the halfway stage. James Ash with quite a commanding lead at the minute. He is 52 points ahead of his closest rival, Big Boy Brazier. Both 153 James is on, with Big Boy Brazier 101. Only a point behind him is Gary 131, the leading driver of the Aston Martin team. What can he do here? Is Phil's got to remind that he will have to stay in the pits because he's got that qualifying ban. Beast in Gaming saying, let's go Tibbs. Gary 131 sitting in third, and he's 53 points behind. Ivor slowly working his way up to the top end of the category. P4 at the minute and only 57 behind James. But it's very, very close between the top three for second, third, and fourth. In fifth is Matimovic, slowly working his championship back into this and trying to get himself some decent points as he possibly can. With sixth place is Exit Tibbs. With each round that goes by, he seems to be improving every little bit more. Emo Guy start in seventh. He's not seen Emo Guy for a while, and I'm not sure if Emo Guy is going to come back. He keeps saying he's going to make the sessions, but he's never there when we need him, so hopefully Emo Guy will be back. In eighth place is Emplava. Ninth is Forzy. Quite a bit behind with A. Smith in 10th, Leon Fernie in 11th, 12th is PN Motorsport, 13th is Monkey Boy, 14th is Nausea, with 15th is Fury. 16th is Smokey Dale with Argent in 17th. 18th is that Bozzy Boy. 19th is DJ Phil. And bringing up the rear, still the two yet to score points, is DJ Phil and C. Smithy, both on 0 points, bringing up the rear. Regarding the team championships, it is Williams still leading the way, with James pretty much on his own at the minute. He's currently 2 points ahead of the Aston Martin duo, 176 points to 174. Aston Martin slowly trying to creep onto the back, with AlphaTauri as well getting involved on 161 in third place. Alfa Romeo in P4, with Ferrari sitting in fifth. Sixth is Alpine, and seventh is Haas. Eighth is Mercedes. Ninth is McLaren, and bringing up the rear is Red Bull Racing. That is your championship table at the minute, and at the looks of things, James is still the man to beat, and everyone's still trying to chase him as Ivor comes towards the line now. Does he improve? No, he's invalidated his lap time, so he'll have to try and get a lap on him again. Matt improves and goes to P2, but also James is currently on a lap as well. As we go to James, he is in the middle sector. Is he currently up on his lap time? Doing it for Williams. Guys, let's hear from you in the chat. And if you haven't done so, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell to be notified. And don't forget to have a look at our great sponsors, Audio Sport. Give them a look as well. Also, Sea Leech Designs, have a look at them as well, and Made Manchester as well. As James comes into the bits, obviously wasn't improving on that one. Who is on a lap? As I don't like the way that works. As Exit Tips is now coming out on track. And that Bozzy Boy currently on an out lap. Let's go to that Bozzy Boy. And there he is currently on track on his out lap. There is a Aston Martin coming into pit lane, but we've also got a Alfa Romeo about to start their lap. This is, or finish their lap. This is Emplava. He's currently on about a lap time of 1:06.4. He improves and goes to P4. Gets within a 10th of the leaders. This is very, very close in qualifying. As Leon Fernie, I think, is also on a lap. That Bozzy Boy, and he's just invalid his lap time, so that's a shame for him. A. Smith comes into the pits with Ivor for another set of tyres. So this qualifying session is going very, very quick for these guys. 5 minutes left, so only a couple minutes left of this session, as Exit Tibbs is currently on a lap by the looks of things. No, he's on an out lap. He's about to start his lap. So the young American, let's go on board with him and let's see him go around this challenging circuit as the DRS opens up down the back straight. Can Exit Tibbs finally get that monkey off his back and finally get a race win? That is the question. And I also want to hear from you guys in the chat, which do we think is the best looking car of the 2022 cars? Let's have just a brief minute. I'm not going to make a poll. Let's have a message on who you think is in the best car. As Tibbs has found a little bit of time, 300ths in the first second, but he looks like he ran a little bit wide into that hairpin. As I just got to send Ivor another invite. Where is that Ivor? There he is. Hopefully he's got that. Only just seen that message, sorry about that, Ivor. So we will end the poll there, and already it's a split between James and Tibbs. Tibbs on a lap, he's going to go wide, and that is it. Lap time invalid. Would that have been a quicker lap? Yes, it would have. He would have improved his lap time, but he'd just gone over the white line ever so slightly. And Gary now is about to start a lap. We see a car, that is Smoky Devil, I believe, that is on a lap. And where is Smoky Devil? I can't seem to find Smoky Devil here. This is why I don't like using this. Smoky Devil, he has got an invalid lap time as it is, and Fury CBK, I think, is just behind him. And there he is into the final few corners. He is on an out lap also. I believe Bozzy Boy was on a lap, but it's invalidated as well. Ivor out on track. Is this him or is this the AI? I believe this might be him. Yeah, it definitely is him. As Ivor, can he get himself a lap time on the board? That is the question. Exit Tibbs, the first man out of these lot to set a lap time, and he's currently back out, heading back towards the pits. Ivor up towards Sector 1. He goes purple. So he is fastest in Sector 1. We got a yellow flag. Not sure who that is. That is a Red Bull, and that is also Ivor in the wall. I believe that is that Bozzy Boy and Ivor have both ended up in the wall. They're all over the shot. Ivor, 5-place grid penalty for causing a collision. And there is Forzy working his way through. Fury currently on a lap time. Is this going to be good enough to improve on 8th place position? He gets a little bit of a toe off the back of Smoky Devil, but it might cause understeer for him. Smoky Devil on a lap as well, so what is this going to do for Smoky? He's coming to the line, 12th at the minute. Improvement? No, neither of them improve. Well, Fury finds a 10th, but doesn't move him any further, and now he's being held up by Smoky Devil there. So I think Bozzy is done for his session. He will not be finishing qualifying as he's struggling to get going here. And I see the Aston Martin duo of Gary and Matt here going out together. Are they going to try towing one another? Gary's actually currently on a lap, so maybe Gary has been let through, as James, I see just ahead of him, is just about to back off so he can get himself some better space. Exit Tibbs is done for qualifying, as there's a lot of yellow flags at the minute. Gary 131 into the final sector. No one in his way. James is shot off into the distance. Gary 131. Oh, he's just invalidated his lap time and crossed his line. Would he have improved? He would have gone pole with that one. He would have been fastest of them all, but he's just exceeded the track limits. Gary will be kicking himself, and this one will be invalidated as well. If he looks after his battery and saves it now, he will be able to get himself another lap if he's got the tyre life in them. So we are now on board with James, who's currently on a lap time. I think Fury's in the final sector. Yes, he is. He's not improved. He's had Smoky Devil in his way. So Forzy is the next one to come across the line. He's got very, very wide. If he's just keep that limits, that was impressive. He does not improve. And then Plava doesn't improve either. think that's Leon Fernie to the line next. Yeah, no improvement from him. We now head to Nausea, I think is the next car in. He comes into the pits correctly, but he's got the Ferrari of Big Boy Brazier, who has invalidated his lap time, so he won't improve. James is on a lap. He's 2/10 up on his best, and this will probably put him on pole position. James to the line. He does go pole with a 1:05.8. Where is Matt? Here is Matt. He's down a 10th, and he will not improve. He will stay P3. And Plava at the minute. Where is he? As Wolfgang in the chat. Nice Tibbs. Tibbs lost the pole position now, and he will not be able to complete qualifying as he is in the pits. Leon Fernie going slow as that Bozzy boy. He's about to complete a lap, but it's invalidated, so he will get one more lap time underneath him. Fury into the pits. He is done for qualifying. We now move to Forzy, who's also into the pits, as they've got to make sure they stay within that line. Nausea's in the pits, as is M. Prava. So all these guys are coming to the end of their qualifying. Second is huge. Nice, says Beasting Gaming. It's not over yet. These guys have all still got to complete their lap times, and Leon Fernie can't come into the pits. He has to go around again. But Big Boy Brazier, he is on a lap. What can he do as Leon Fernie comes towards the line? He is done for qualifying. Big Boy Brazier, has he found more time? He goes P5. Best he could do. Matt is done for qualifying. He returns back to the pits. Ivor is coming to the line. I think he's done for qualifying as well. He comes to the line, and yep, no lap from him. There is only the Red Bull duos on track. Bozzy boy, has he finally got a decent lap time underneath him? He's a second down at the minute into the final corner. That Bozzy boy is coming to complete qualifying towards the line, and Bozzy will not improve. He will stay P13. Ivor once again struggling to get a lap time on the board, but it is James once again who takes pole position here. Great stuff from him, as Tibbs once again getting close to him. Tibbs each round improving as each race goes by. But it is your Welsh pole man once again, James, on the front row, sharing the front row once again with Tibbs. And these two getting familiar with the front row. James will be starting the race from that position. Tibbs will line alongside him. With Martin Weber starting third with M. Plava in 4. 5th is Big Boy Brazier. 6th is Forzy. 7th will be Gary 131. 8th will be Leon Fernie. 9th is Fury. 10th is Nausea. 11th is PN. 12th is Smoky Devil. 13th is that Bozzy boy. 14th is Smithy. 15th is A. Smith. 16th was DJ Phil. But bringing up the rear will be Ivor. He carries a 5-place grid penalty for the feature, which will ruin his race, but he has recovered from the back of the grid and worked his way to the front. Who is going to take the first win tonight? That is the question, as James will start on pole. And what a qualifying that was. It was all about making sure you got your lap time together. The poll is out now for your sprint winner. Get your votes in. Get the teacup ready for the first corner, says Stars Automatic. Definitely so. Guys, let's hear from you guys. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so, and hit the bell to be notified so you don't miss any of the action. We have beautiful sunshine here in Austria for the 8th round, the halfway stage of the season. And also, just a reminder, just got to check and double check who is on milestones tonight. Matt did tell me, but it's weekly roundup, that's what I want. Milestones. C. Smithy will be in race 2, will be his 150th as well. Gary 131 needs 1 pole to make it 25th. Aston Martin need 1 podium in the F1 to make it 25. And Sutty in race 2 of the GT3s was his 150th. So well done to Sutty for that one. We are about to get underway here. Also have a look at our wonderful sponsors as well. Design Manchester, have a look at them. Sea Leash Designs as well, and Audio Sport are all links in the bio. Give them a like and follow on anything that they have published. But guys, there is a poll out now for who you think is going to win this race. 12 laps of this beautiful racetrack here at the Red Bull Ring in Austria, in Spielberg. What an iconic race here in the Austrian woods. Who is going to come out on top? Get your votes in. Guys, don't miss a thing, because this is going to be fast, furious, and very, very exciting. Let's have a look at the tyre options that these guys have gone for. Let's have a look as well. Tyre options, everybody running the medium tyre. No one daring to use the soft. Probably won't get you to the end of the race. A quick roundup of the grid as well. We got James on pole position with Exit Tibbs starting in second. Matt will start in third. Fourth will be Emplava. Fifth is Big Boy Brazier. Sixth is Forzy. Seventh will be Gary 131, but he's disqualified from the session. So Leon Fernie will be eighth. Ninth will be Fury. 10th will be Nausea. 11th will PN Motorsport. 12th will be Smoky Devil. 13th, that Bozzy Boy. C. Smithy, next race will be his 150th appearance. He starts 14th. His brother will start behind him in 15th. DJ Phil will start 16th. And Ivor at the back of the pack. What can he do in the AlphaTauri? As he will line up at the back of the grid. He will carry that 5-second grid penalty into the next race. But it is James coming to the final corner now to bring the pack to the start-finish line. Guys, get your votes in. The poll will end at lap 6 of this race, so get your votes in, as no one's gone for Emplava. One person, I believe, for Matt, but it's a split decision between James and Tibbs at the minute. But here we go. The guys line up, the lights come on, the revs rise. Who's going to win the first win race tonight? As the lights come on. And we are green here in Austria. And looks like Tibbs had a fairly decent start, but not good enough. Gary's gone backwards in the foreground, but it's James will lead into turn 1. Matt's going to go right around the outside of Tibbs, but can't quite get the job. Fury's gone very wide in the background as Emplava now attacking Matt up into turn 3. We've got a couple of guys off in the background, but everybody relatively clean as Matt misses his brakes and Emplava hits the back of Tibbs. Matt gets away with that one, and as everyone scrambles to get past Tibbs, and they all manage to do so. Tibbs, the biggest loser out of that one, he drops to the back of the pack. Poor Tibbs, he loses out. Matt is the biggest gainer out of that. So is Forzy, he's got a big gain out of that one. But Emplava there causing chaos, as you see now, Big Boy Brazier trying to attack on Emplava. Nausea, his teammate just behind him. 5-second penalty for Smithy for ignoring yellow flags. So he's overtaken someone under the yellows. As you see there, Emplava fighting for every inch of this race, and he is holding back Big Boy Brazier. You see in the background Leon Fernie going very wide. Big Boy's got the run. He's looking down the inside of the penultimate corner, and is he going to get the job done? No, he thinks better of it, but that's allowed Nausea to have a look down the inside of the final corner and can't get that job done. It's now Fury in the background, and Leon Fernie not far behind him as well. And a lot of guys all upset already because Tibbs is out of this race. Relatively clean. Ivor has already worked himself up to 11th place. As he's dropped down the order, as I say that, he's had contact with Smithy by the looks of things. And Ivor coming out worse there. So Tibbs working his way up. He's now onto the back of Gary 131. Gary really trying to defend hard from the Haas driver. Tibbs down the inside. He's trying to work his way back up the order, but can't work his way through. Meanwhile, we got Nausea, who's trying to defend from Big Boy Brazier, Fury and Leon Fernie just behind him as well, as they are really pushing their way through as Smithy goes back ahead of DJ Phil. Meanwhile, James is extending his gap. He's 2 seconds ahead of Matimovic, who's in second. Third is Forzy. He's got Emplava behind him with Big Boy Brazier, Nausea in 6th, Fury 7th, Leon Fernie 8th. That Bozzy Boy 9th, A. Smith in 10th, Smoky Devil 11th, Gary 12th, Exit Tibbs 13th, and PN in 14th. Smithy is then in 15th place position. We've got another yellow flag. Who is that? That looks like A. Smith and Bozzy. It is, as A. Smith comes into the pits. Bozzy is also coming into the pits. They look like they've got front wing damage by the looks of things, and they're both in the pits. PN Motorsport moves himself up into 12th place position. Leon Fernie already a time penalty for exceeding track limits. This is going to be the problem for these guys. There's a lot of people not happy with PN Motorsport, right? Not PN, sorry, Emplava. As Gary works his way down the inside of Smoky Devil, he pushes him wide and he gets that job done, but he's also under pressure from Exit Tibbs. He is going to go down the inside of Gary 131. Is he far enough alongside? He's got the corner and he'll get the job done, but there's a yellow flag. Why is there a yellow flag? There's a car facing the wrong way. That is Fury. He's facing the wrong way, and that might have affected Tibbs. He's had to lift and gift the position back to Gary because of a illegal overtake under the yellow flag. So Tibbs has to do that work all over again. He can still get a decent podium in this main race as he's got good pace. Head down, go Tibbs, says Max Mulder in the chat. Meanwhile, Forzy is really puts the pressure on M. Brava, and he's brought Big Boy Brazier with him. Smithy in the pits, and out the pits he comes. Right in this gaggle of cars as Forzy now with the wing open. He's also got Big Boy Brazier with his rear wing open. Ivor slowly working his way up the order further back as Forzy looks down the inside. Here comes Big Boy Brazier. He has a look as well. A little bit of contact made, but M. Brava hangs in there, probably carrying a little less wing. Meanwhile, Matt is starting to bring the gap down to James. So James now starting to feel a little bit of pressure from Matimovic. M. Brava holding back Forzy and Big Boy Brazier. Big Boy though looking to try and make a move if he can. Meanwhile, Exit Tibbs has got the job done, and Gary 1-1. Gary's going to hold it strong on the outside. You can always race well with Gary's. We've got a yellow flag in this sector, so Gary's going to have to yield because C. Smithy has had a moment, and they come through this sector now. The middle sector into 7 and 8. And Gary trying to do everything he possibly can to find a way back pass on him. As Smithy now allows Leon Fernie back through. Meanwhile, Forzy's still got his eyes open because he's trying to find a way past M. Brava and also defend from Big Boy Brazier. Pit. Meanwhile, penalties have been going very well at the minute. Nobody, oh, I say that Leon Fernie gets himself a penalty. As Matt has now just got himself within a second of James. He's not too far away from him now. He's starting to bring that gap down any bit closer, and he will be in the DRS zone. James might be starting to feel the pressure. And Bravo though still managing to keep Forzy and Big Boy behind him, but Big Boy Brazier looking to find a way past. Meanwhile, Gary's got the job back done on Tibbs. These two having a cracking fight. Once again, a yellow flag in the background. That's for Smithy, possibly letting cars through. These two having a cracking fight right now. Tibbs and Gary going wheel to wheel, and this is good racing from these two. Gary with the rear wing. And what brilliant racing from those guys. We go back to Forzy. He was under some serious pressure now from Big Boy Brazier. This is as close as Jamie's been. He's going to look to the outside. Bozzy Boy has dropped down the order even more. He's going to try and get a better run out the corner, but he doesn't do so. Rear wing should pop open. Yes, it does, but Forzy still within that second of Emplava keeps it together. Ivor, 3-second time penalty to him as Big Boy Brazier going to go around the outside. Not going to get the job done there, and a lot of wheel spin. That's going to keep Forzy ahead. But Jamie now with the DRS. Forzy, no DRS to help him. Again, Tibbs and Gary going at it in the background. We'll be looking at this scrap. This is the fight for 4th and 5th, and a great racing from all these guys so far. Not too many incidences. We've got a great helicopter cam here. Jamie's going to go right round the outside. Not quite good enough there, and I don't think he has the downforce to do so. Meanwhile, Tibbs has now managed to make a slight gap on Gary 131. But right now, Gary 131 trying everything he possibly can as we'll end the poll there. It's this split decision between James and Tibbs, but Tibbs has got a long, long way to go. Next car for him to chase down is Leon Fernie. Meanwhile, Big Boy Brazier has got down the inside of Forzy. Forzy's looking to try and get the better run. Who gets the rear wing? It is nobody. Neither of them get the rear wing. They must have hit the detection point near enough perfect together. And Forzy defends the inside up to turn 3. Brilliant scrap between these two. Forzy moving him out wide, pushed him to the edge of the track. And A. Smith gets himself a time penalty. And now Big Boy Brazier with the rear wing. He should be able to get this one done. A little bit of lag there from Jamie. Forzy's really got to try and concentrate and not hit that car with that lag. But Jamie's holding it strong. These two still side by side as they go into the middle sector, turning into 6 and 7. And Forzy still there. Big Boy Brazier trying to muscle his way around the outside. They're still side by side, and Big Boy Brazier finally gets himself ahead of Forzy, and that's just allowed Emplava to disappear into the distance. Meanwhile, we go back on board with Exit Tibbs, who is working his way onto the back of Leon Fernie now, who has got quite a few penalties to his name, so he just needs to take his time, clear him as quickly as he can, as he's got the DRS now. C. Smithing another time penalty. Forsey now a time penalty as well. All the time penalties kicking in. Ivor another one as well. Everyone pushing the limits. That is a yellow flag. That is Ivor. He's had a spin. He's gone round. He's got to wait for a clear run in the traffic. DJ Phil is the next car to come. So Ivor just waiting for him to go. And Ivor spins it around as safely as he can. Brilliant stuff from him there. But right now, Forsey is coming back at Jamie, still in the DRS zone. Nausea all on his own, but here is the fight we want to keep an eye on. It is Tibbs on Leon Fernie, but meanwhile his teammate Fury is going down the inside of Smoky Devil, and he gets that job done with a distant DRS assistance, and through it goes Fury. Smoky Devil dropping down the order. Leon Fernie, another time penalty once again. We go back to Tibbs. He is alongside him here, and he gets the job done into the penultimate corner. Leon's going to try and fight it out. He runs wide, and Leon Fernie has to conceive there. But Bozzy Boy now gets a time penalty to his name. Leon Fernie with the DRS. Rear wing now for Tibbs. There's nothing he can do down the inside. And Leon Fernie pushes him one. Contact made. Are they just trying to get off one another? Oh, and more contact is made. Tibbs in the wall, and Leon Fernie causing a little bit of chaos there, as Fury's also had a moment. He's gone round. Both Hasses facing the wrong way, and Leon Exit Tibbs has got going. Fury's got going as well. DJ Phil not close enough to get involved in that one. It was such a shame. Tibbs was on a great run there. He was working his way back up the pack as he got a yellow flag. That is Emplava. That's Emplava. He's had a spin. He's had a moment. He's dropped down the order. He's got to try and get it going as best he can without cooking those tyres. He's got Leon Fernie and Gary 131 coming towards him now as Emplava. No, it's Nausea. No, sorry. Emplava overheating those tyres. He's trying to get it back on track. And Gary is about to come and chase down Emplava and try and get that position off him. Tibbs is not having the race here. He has just been caught up in incident after incident as DJ Phil is on the hard tyre. That's a bold choice. As now Gary 131 on the attack of Emplava. Emplava with those tyres really struggling. He's struggling to keep it under control. And around he goes. Did Gary get involved in that? No. So Emplava really struggling with the temperature in his tyres and trying to cool them down. Meanwhile, the two Ass Boys are really trying to redeem their race here, as Emplava still struggling to get going, as he's going to lose a lot of places here. He's managed to get himself going. He's got DJ Phil coming through, and everyone manages to work their way through. Mata Imovic, though, gets himself a 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. He should just hang on to P2, though. As we see here, Fury and Exit. Oh, Fury just missing his brakes there, nearly going into the back of his teammate there, but he manages to get away with it. Fury, in the meanwhile, gets another 3-second time penalty. PM Motorsport, though, he is now on the back of Smoky Devil, and is he going to look to try and make a move on the Alpine driver? At the minute, he will be ahead of him in times due to the fact, as PM really making sure he's staying within the track limits. Whoever keeps him in track limits, as PM really making sure he stays in. Bozzy Boy, another time penalty to his name. Smoky Devil, though, what time penalties he got? He's got 6, so PM can really take his time here and work his magic onto the back of Smoky Devil. But right now, James is currently leading the way, extending his gap, 2.7 ahead of the rest of the pack. And Matt with 3-second time penalty. PN now gets a time penalty as well. A few others racking in the time penalties. Leon Fernie up to 9. It's all about staying squeaky clean, and James is doing just that as he comes to start his final lap of this race. Matt in second, though. He can't afford another time penalty because Jamie is not too far behind and he hasn't got any time penalties. Forsey on 3. So at the minute, Gary's going to jump quite a few places. He's going to jump up to at least 6th with Leon's time penalty. Meanwhile, PN is still on the back of Smoky Devil. Fury and Tibbs are still scrapping. Fury might as well just sit behind Tibbs. He's got that 3-second time penalty. And there's no point racing your teammate. Neither of you are going to score points. His top 8 will score points. As Gary is still trying to get onto the back of Leon Fernie, but he doesn't have to push him too hard. He doesn't have to race him. But James, though, a brilliant sprint race to start off the night. It looked like he was starting to become a little bit under pressure from Matt earlier on, but he kept it under control. He's extended the gap. He's kept his nose clean, and James, once again, is going to come home for another race win to his name. A yellow flag, that is Fury. I think he's dropped down the order, but it's going to be James who wins the sprint from a decent gap over Matahimovic in second. Third will go the way of Big Boy Brazier. Not quite close enough to Matt in the end to gain that position. Fourth will be Forzy. He'll be happy with that one. Nausea will come home in 5th place position. A good race from himself there. And Gary 131 will come home in 6th with Leon Fernie right behind him, but he's got a 9-second time penalty, and Smoky Devil won't gain from that one, but PN will gain on that as he is coming up to the back of Smoky Devil. So it will be PN who will come across in 8th place position. 9th will go Smoky Devil. No, sorry, Tibbs will go up to 8th. PN will go to 9th. Smoky Devil to 10th. Fury will come home for 11th. Ivor will come home for 12th, or not quite close enough, because here comes Amprava. Amprava not quite. DJ Phil comes across the line. He'll go up to 13th. 14th will be Amprava. A Smith, Bozzy Boy, and C Smithy bringing up the rest of the grid. James is your race 1 winner, the sprint race winner, and a brilliant job from him. That is going to help him extend his championship lead for sure. So here's James is your race winner. As we will get the sprint results so I can get a rough look at the times. It is James who is your race winner. It makes it a 1-2 for Wales as they are at the top of the table. Weren't very much on the top of the Rugby League, but either way, or Six Nations, sorry, but 1-2 for Wales. Third is Big Boy Brazier. 4th is Forzy. 5th is Nausea. 6th was Gary. 7th was Leon Fernie. 8th was Tibbs. He scores out 1 important point. 9th was PN Motorsport. 10th was Smoky Devil. 11th was Fury. 12th was Ivor. 13th was DJ Phil. 14th was Emprava. A Smith in 15th. 16th was that Bozzy Boy. And bringing up the rear in 17th place position was C Smithy. Some great racing there from a lot of the drivers, as the Tibbs will now have to rethink and try and get on with the next race. But Tibbs was in such bad luck in that one. As I will get a poll up now for your feature race. This is a little bit dark here. Maybe some rain possibly threatening in the background. Who knows? And I'll tell you what, we will go an outside bet for Tibbs as well. So guys, get your votes in on who you think is going to take the feature race win here. But James now extending his championship lead every single time. Daz Automatic saying, great race. Tracy in the chat, next race, let's make it clean this time. As the Tibbs camp are not too pleased with a lot of the drivers, and I believe the tables have been updated. But first things first, let's make a shout out to C Smithy, as he has now made his 150th appearance here at Simplay Motorsport. This will be his 150th race at Simplay Motorsport, and he does it in the McLaren in F1. Championship standings after that looks like this. James has extended his gap even more, 56 ahead of Big Boy Brazier. Gary is still in 3rd place, bit behind Big Boy. Well, 4th is Ivor. Matt is slowly working his way onto the back of Ivor. 6th is Tibbs, and starting to lose grip of the leaders as Imagai is still in 7th, and Plava still in 8th, Forzy 9th, 10th is A Smith, 11th was Leon Fernie, 12th is PM Motorsport, Monkey Boy in 13th, 14th is Nausea, 15th is Fury, Smoky Devil is in 16th, 17th is Argent, 18th is that Bozzy Boy. Phil and Smithy still yet to score a point. The teams looks like this. Williams are now tied on points with Aston Martin going into this feature race, with Alfa Atari sitting in 3rd, Alfa Romeo in 4th, Ferrari in 5th, 6th is Alpine, 7th is Haas, 8th is Mercedes, 9th and 10th is McLaren and Red Bull tied on points. So let's have a quick rundown of the grid order. It is James on pole position with Matt Timovic starting in second. Third is Big Boy Brazier. Fourth is Forzy. Fifth is Nausea. Sixth is Gary 131. Seventh is Leon Fernie. Eighth will be Tibbs. Ninth will be PN Motorsport. 10th will be Smoky Devil. 11th is Fury. 12th is DJ Phil. 13th is Emplava. 14th is A Smith. 15th is that Bozzy Boy. Smithy will start in 16th. And Ivor, once again, back of the pack. What can he do from there as he had a 5-place grid penalty? Tyres look like this. A mixture of drivers. James starting on the soft tyre with Matt on the medium, but Big Boy Brazier starting on the hard tyre. That's going to be a tricky one. Keep an eye out for Tibbs, PN, DJ Phil, A Smith, and Smithy as well. All opt in for the soft tyre. Can they use that tyre advantage? Get your votes in on who you think is going to win this race, as Big Boy likes to park a little bit skew-iff, but he's messed it up. Let's get going here for the second race of the day, the feature race, the main race, 36 laps of the Red Bull Ring, and we are about to go green here in Austria. And we're now at the halfway point of the season, and we are green here, and looks like Forzy got a great start as he looks to the inside. James managed to pull away relatively well, but there's contact, there's all sorts of contact in the background. Cars off everywhere. And who's come off the worst out of that one? It looks like Gary 131 has been affected by that one as well. Who's dropped right to the back? That was PM Motorsport. He's been affected quite badly as James pulls away. Matt and Forzy in second and third. He's jumped Big Boy Brazier. There's more contact further back. As we see Ivor working his way up the order. But he's struggling to do so. He's on the hard tyre, so he's going to be struggling with these soft tyre runners at the minute. Just all a bit messy this time round, as we see there. Leon Fernie under a little bit of pressure from from M Prava, but it is James who leads the way from Matt, from Forzy. Big Boy Brazier is going to try and get past Forzy once again. Tibbs has worked his way up to 5th already. Gary 6th, and 7th is Nausea. He's got Leon Fernie breathing down his neck. A Smith passing Smoky Devil. Fury still struggling to work his way. He's actually lost the position. Let's see the winners and losers of that one. The biggest gainer out of that one was M Prava, and Smithy exit Tibbs also with 3. The biggest loser was PN. He dropped down to the back of the pack as we've got a yellow flag. Who is that? That's Ivor, I think, has had a spin. He's had a moment. He's dropped to the back of the pack again. No safety car tonight already, as we see here. Exit Tibbs is attacking Big Boy Brazier. He's going to look down the inside. No, he's not. He's going to hang on there as he's using that soft tyre advantage to try and work his way back up the order. He's right on to the back of Big Boy Brazier. Is he going to look down the inside? He's got Gary right behind him as well, though, so he's got to keep an eye on for that. Gary on the medium tyres. Leon Fernie loses the place to PN to M Plava there. So Ivor on those hard tyres, his strategy has not worked at all. And he's going to have to hope that he stays out of trouble. Meanwhile, Tibbs is still trying to harass Big Boy Brazier, but he's got Gary 131 breathing down his neck. Meanwhile, James just extends his lead a little bit more. We've got a yellow flag. Who is that? That is Smith, A. Smith, I think. Yeah, A. Smith dropping down the order. He's got it going again. And up he goes. Leon Fernie straight into the pits also. He's come flying into the pits. This is a whole gaggle of cars here. But we go back to Gary 131, who is right on the back of Tibbs here. And DRS opens, so can Tibbs get himself a little bit closer to Jamie? He's got to worry about Gary, though. He's got to go down the inside. And Gary's going to get the job done, but there's Jamie as well. And Tibbs has to take evasive action and runs wide there. 5-second time penalty. A. Smith for speeding in the pit lane, so not what he would have wanted either. Ivor into the pits, hoping for possibly a safety car to bring him back into this race. Now it's Gary's turn to give Jamie a go. He is on the hard tyre and is going to be very slow at this stage of the race. Smithy now trying to make a move on DJ Phil. DJ Phil just hanging in there. PN as well in this scrap. The three-way fight. Mercedes versus McLaren versus Ferrari. Right now the Mercedes driver hanging in there. All three of these guys, I believe, are pad runners as well. But Phil coming out on top at the minute. And Plava now on the back of his teammate. Matt setting fastest lap of the race. And it looks like those medium tyres now are coming to him, and the softs will start to wear out ever so slightly. as Matt is actually now within a second of James. And Gary 131 passes Big Boy Brazier, no problem. He goes purple first sector. But also, Jamie's got to worry that exit Tibbs is coming. But Gary's made a mistake. He's had a bit too much traction. Jamie, we're going to go 3 wide down the back straight. And Tibbs looks like he's going to get the job done on both of them. Is he braver around the outside? He does go right around the outside of the pair of them. A beautiful move there from exit Tibbs. 3 wide down the back straight. And Tibbs moves himself back up into 4th place position. Great stuff there from Tibbs. Great racing from all 3 of them, as Jamie and those hard tyres are really starting to hurt him now. And Jamie and Gary going wheel to wheel as close as you dare. And Gary is going to go through. Jamie's just got to think of the long game. He's on those hard tyres. He can go longer than everybody else if he can just stick to these fast tyre runners. But Gary now with the DRS will be able to try and attack Tibbs with the DRS open. He's going to look down the inside of turn 1, but he thinks better of it. But Jamie's right there as well. He needs to have a good exit so we have a better opportunity. Meanwhile, Gary is having a fight. Matt is now starting to pressure James out in front. DRS for Matt, wide open. Gary's now attacked Tibbs down the inside. Tibbs has got to lose that position out, but he should get the DRS. No, Gary holds on to the DRS. So great stuff there from Gary to hang in there with the DRS. So great racing all the way around. DJ Phil now under some more pressure from Smithy and PN as well. But we go back to the leaders. And James now starting to become under some pressure from Matt behind him. All this is doing is helping them pull away from Forzy. And really, this is not helping Tibbs' race whatsoever. Tibbs is too busy scrapping with Gary and Jamie as Matt looks to the inside of turn 1. And Matt thinks better of it. He hangs back and waits for the perfect opportunity. Tibbs, though, still on the back of Gary. Also Jamie, so Gary's now got himself that time penalty. Matt's going to look down the inside of turn 1. He's going to get the job done, but James is going to try and get the cut back. Matt should have the DRS as well. He will do. And James will now fall back behind in second, but he's using his ERS, or was, and he's just going to sit behind Matt for the meantime. Matt sends it up into turn 3, but James right on the back of him once again, and a change for the lead has been made. Meanwhile, Forzy's lost a lot of time to Gary, Tibbs, and Big Boy Brazier. All these guys catching on to the back of him. Nausea losing out to Fury. Fury's now worked himself up into 8th place, into a points playing position. Ivor setting fastest lap of the race. He's really got to hope for a safety car at this rate to get himself back into this race. A. Smith now with a time penalty to his name. We go back to the Jamie fight, as Tracy says in the chat, come on, let's go Tibbs. And we go on board with Tibbs. He's got DRS open, but he's starting to lose traction. He's starting to lose the tyre advantage on those softer tyres. Another fight to keep an eye on as well. Yellow flag in the background. That is Fury. He's had a spin. He's had a moment and he's gone round. Meanwhile, James is trying to get onto the back of Matt Dehimovic. He's got the DRS open, but it's not enough at this stage. So Matt has got that tyre advantage. He's a little bit better on tyres at this stage. And James possibly struggling with grip. Meanwhile, Gary is now putting the pressure on Forzy. Forzy not slapping relatively well here, and he started to get the pressure from Gary 131 breathing down his neck. And Gary looking for any opportunity to find a way past the Mercedes-Benz. He can't find a way through. But Forzy under so much pressure, probably one of the best overtakers, as James has decided to pit on lap 6. Get rid of those soft tyres. As we've got another spinner, that is Fury. He's spun round again. And all these guys will jump James in the pits. James going to the hard tyre. Meanwhile, Gary has got the run. And through he goes. Forzy, nothing he can do there, as he now heads up towards the second corner, and Forzy will have to concede that place. Meanwhile, Tibbs is under pressure here from Big Boy Brazier, and Jamie can't get the job done. Meanwhile, James has managed to land himself in some beautiful clean air, and that will help him out massively. Meanwhile, the guys in front are scrapping away. He will slowly work his way onto the back of them, and he's on the hard tyres, so he could possibly go to the end. As Gary has got that job done on Forsey, and it's now an Aston Martin 1-2. Gary 1-3-1 will try and extend that gap now on the guys behind him. Meanwhile, Tibbs is struggling with tyres at the minute. As Big Boy Brazier looking to the inside. He's not going to get the job done there. And was that a little bit of sprinkle of rain by the looks of things? Yes, we got rain here, guys. Rain has been forecasted, and here it comes. The rain is here as Big Boy Brazier goes down the inside. He's going to miss his braking. He goes very, very wide, and will have to lose that place to Tibbs there. Rain is now here. Tibbs, pit, get mediums. No, because what Tibbs is doing, he's trying to push it to the limit of where the wet weather will change, and he can change to the wet tyre. Smithy and PN both coming in. Oh, that is Bozzy. He's had a moment. He's gone round. He can't get it going. He's beached. Bozzy has beached it. Ah, there we go. He's got himself going, and back on track he goes. Smithy has gone straight to Inters. Has PN? No, he's gone onto the mediums, but Smithy, first man to switch to the Inter tyre. So has James lost out here because of the wet weather conditions? We've got a yellow flag in the background. Who is that? That is Bozzy. He's coming into the pits. As Forsey and Tibbs all still in a great scrap at the minute. Gary's still got Forsey breathing behind him. He's just keeping him behind. So Tibbs now has got to be trying to extend this gap as much as he can. Extend that tyre life so we can get to the pit window for Inters. But how heavy is it going to rain? It's only spits at the minute. And yes, Tracy, this is what I'm saying. It's spitting with rain, but it's not enough to lose traction. He's going to have to try and be the first one to switch to the Inters when it gets too wet. And usually that's a sign when the DRS is closed and will not be opened. Meanwhile, James is on those hard tyres and just a little bit too late regarding the weather. It's just not worked out his way. Fury, another time penalty to his name. Big Boy Brazier down the inside as DJ Phil pits for the full wets. That's a bold choice. There's Bozzy also into the Inters as well. So you can just tell the guys who are not quite confident already switching to the wet tyres, just so they have that confidence when they go back out on track. Meanwhile, Forsey is behind Gary 1-3-1. It's still not really wet. There's no spray being developed from the back of these cars yet. Oh, Gary has that big moment in the final corner as Tibbs now comes into the pits. Get it slowed down, Tibbs, as he just do so. What tyre would Tibbs go on? He has to go on Inters now, really, to make sure that he has a decent chance. He comes into the pits. What is the tyre? It is the intermediate, but it's still not wet enough. So is he just going to burn these out? That is the question. He comes back out on track, and he is in 8th place position. James goes ahead of him, but it's not raining heavy enough at this stage. The wet weather guys are not seeing an improvement at the minute. So right now we've got a mixture of different tyres. We've got mediums, we've got soft, we've got hards, and we've got the Inters and the wets. Every single tyre out on track, which is rare to see. As you see there, DJ Phil just struggling so much on those wets, and he loses a position. Fury's into the pits and out. He's on the hard tyre. And meanwhile, Big Boy Brazier, has he had a moment? Yes, he's beached it. Big Boy Brazier has beached it, and he cannot get going. And Big Boy Brazier is trying everything he can to get this off the banking, and he has beached it. Is this going to cause a safety car? As he cannot get going. He's trying everything he can, but it's not wanting to move. Big Boy Brazier has had a moment. There's the DRS disenabled. This is the time for Inters. Yellow flag and 3-second warning there for James. He's got a time penalty. And Leon Fernie, 5-second time penalty, speeding in the pit lane. This is now into weather. DRS has got Big Boy Brazier out of this race due to fact is stuck on the bank, and that is it. His race is done. Meanwhile, Forsey is still stinging onto the back of Gary 131, but meanwhile James is on the back at Nausea. As we are starting to see more Inter runners coming out. Leon Fernie onto the Inters now. James taking his time, being patient with Nausea as Matt is into the pits. As is DJ Phil by the list of things as well. So that's just caused Forsey to go another lap around. And it's still not quite wet enough for these guys to come into the pits as M. Plava carries on. Matt, has he just gone a little bit too early? Is that the thing here? As you see here, James and Nausea going side by side. And it looks like James has got that job done. Ivor's had a moment. He's gone round again. And he is on those medium tyres, so he's struggling. But James now has got Matt behind him, but on a set of Inters. Is this rain going to come down heavier, or is it just going to stay like this at the minute? There's still no spray. We ain't seen no spray from the cars as Smithy has DNF'd. Has he hit Ivor? I believe he has. Ivor's gone round. There is Smithy's car. Ivor struggling to get going. And there's all sorts of chaos. Safety car is out. Ivor's night has just gone from bad to worse. Such a shame from him. Everyone now will come into the pits as Gary. Where is Gary on track? Here he is. And he enters the pit lane. Forsey right behind him as well. M. Plava also into the pits. All these guys will benefit from the safety car coming out. But all these guys coming into the pits. Matt will carry on through. I think the biggest gainer out of all of them will be Gary and Forsey. They're already on their way out. Where is Matt? Matt is in the background. He's going down the back straight, but he cannot overtake the car in front of him, which is Leon Fernie, I think. No, it's that Bozzy boy. So Matt has to stay behind him. Where's Gary and Forsey? There they are. And they've jumped Matt. So Matt losing out there. Tibbs gains the place out of that. He goes ahead of James. So all this has really shooken up the order. 14 laps gone. And Gary is your race leader now. As we will end the poll there. James is at the head of it, but I think we might see a different winner here. Gary 131 at the front now. And he's got that Bozzy boy right behind him as well as a little bit of protection from the rest of the pack. But it's Gary, Forsey, Matt, and Prava, Exit Tibbs, and James is your top 6. Alright, we got a safety car at the minute, guys. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and hit the bell to be notified so you do not miss any of the action here tonight. It's been a fantastic night's way of racing. What an awful game. Spun and put me straight on the gravel. Could not escape. That's such a shame, Jamie. You got bottomed out. That was it. That was your race done, I'm afraid. But he's going to lose massive points now to the guys in his championship fight. Gary, Ivor, Matt, Tibbs, and James all will extend on him or gain. Gary only 4 points behind him in the championship, so Gary will gain massively out of this for sure if he can stay within the points positions. Ivor, if he can get himself into the points positions, he's only 11 points behind as well. So this is really what Ivor needed, but is he a lap down? I don't think he is. No, I don't think he is. I think he's still within... Yeah, he's still in the same lap, so he can get in, put the inters on, and get himself back into this fight. But he's got to hope and pray for some more... luck his way as Fury's into the pits also. Is this for a front wing? Into the pits he comes. He is serving his 5-second time penalty by the looks of things. Gets that done. A fresh set of boots as well. Off he goes. So he clears the time penalty and also he has a fresh set of tyres. Championship is well and truly done for good. It's only the halfway stage of the season, Jamie. Anything can still happen. And James can still have a bad round. You never know. But Gary is leading the way. but still got a long way to go in this one. So Gary is your race leader from Forzy in second, third is Matt, fourth is Emplava, fifth is Exit Tibbs, sixth is James, seventh is Nausea, eighth is Leon Fernie, ninth is Smoky Devil, 10th is PN Motorsport, 11th is Fury, 12th is Ivor, 13th is That Bozzy Boy, 14th is A Smith, and DJ Phil bringing up the rear. What is happening here? Bozzy is lifted and he's let Forzy and Matt through. What else is going on here? He's properly lifting to get right out the way here. I think Bozzy's just been letting cars go through, so the top guys can fight. As Ivor is slowly working his way onto the back of the pack. As Gary will be able to start the restart very, very shortly. And guys, make sure you tune in, because this week we've got some more racing on Thursday and Wednesday night, as we will be heading to the next round of the championship on ACC, as we will be heading to the Nürburgring for the next round of the season. And who will that benefit as well, as these guys all start to back the pack up. Ivor will just about get to the back of the pack as well, as Gary now will control the pace here, as he's got a pack of angry 15 cars right behind him. And is that Gary gone? I think he is. He has nailed it now, and off he goes. He goes into the final few corners, and a couple of guys caught napping there. But we are green here. Gary's gone. Gary 131 leads this race from Forzy, from Matt, from Emprava, Exit Tibbs and James. A few guys just caught napping there. And we can see as well, James obviously having to try and clear some cars. Fury is already overtaken PN as Ivor is into the pits. Why is Ivor into the pits? Has he got front wing damage already? As he just joins the back of the pack as they're really slow, and then they speed up. As we see here, Tibbs going down the inside of the back runners, and he gets ahead of them. Nausea, though, is under some pressure from James, and James going through. Forzy now already being overtaken by Matt. Matt's got to go down the inside. But Forzy's going to hold it strong on the outside. There's more grip on the outside, especially in the wet weather conditions. Forzy's going to hold it strong. Matt has got to hang in there, but he cannot do so. And Matt struggles to find his way past. Emprava is just behind him as well. But this is just allowing Gary 131 to pull away in the Aston Martin. Meanwhile, Tibbs and James are still struggling to work their way through this pack. Time penalties flying in now, as Gary really pushing the limits here, trying to get that gap to Forzy as quickly as he can. Forzy trying to get some tyre temperature in that car. Exit Tibbs now on his way to try and catch the leaders if he possibly can. But meanwhile, James has got the others just behind him as well. He's got one more car to clear of Bozzy Boy. But Gary up towards turn 3. Matt is still trying to find a way to move on Forzy. Forzy just trying to hold that inside. Matt has a wiggle there. Struggling with traction by the looks of things, and struggling to get that run on Forzy. Forzy defends the inside. Matt's going to have to go all the way around the outside. Is he going to try and get the job done? Matt's going to try and hold it strong on the outside. Forzy runs him to the end of the track. But Matt, with the ERS on as well, he goes around the outside of Forzy and gets that job done. Up into P2. Aston Martin 1-2. Smoky Devil drops down a position also. Emplava now sticking to the back of Forzy. Can he now look to make a move? As also Tibbs is trying to catch onto the back of Emplava. Nausea has got an angry pack of Leon Fernie, Fury and Smoky Devil. Smoky Devil down the inside of Fury. Fury to the outside. And what can Fury do? Is he going to try and hold it strong? Yes, he is. But Smoky Devil's still there. He's still got that position and he can still fight it out. And Smoky Devil gets that job done on Fury. So Fury drops down a position. Up towards turn 1, there you go. Is Fury going to look to the inside? No, he doesn't. Meanwhile, Emperava is on the back of Forzy. Forzy losing places, hand over fist here. He goes a bit deep into turn 3. This is allowing Emperava to try and get a good run, a good exit. He's not quite close enough, but look who's in the background. Tibbs is working his way to the back of this pack. And towards the outside, Emperava can't quite get the job done. He saw Matt try it, and he can't do it himself. Tibbs is still working his way to that position. Smoky Devil and Fury still going at it. Smoky's gone wide, and Fury gets the undercut and gets himself back through onto that position. Leon Fernie is on the back of Nausea. Meanwhile, James is still working his way through this pack. He's got to clear that Bozzy boy as they go towards the final end of this sector, and Gary and Matt have both checked out. They are getting away as quickly as they possibly can. But right now, Forzy can still just about see Matt ahead of him. As Emperava now starting to get pressure from this man, Exit Tibbs, who is absolutely flying at the minute. Not the best run there for Tibbs, nor was Emperava. So Emperava really struggling to keep with Forzy now. So head up towards turn 3 once again. No fights going on at the minute. The gaps are relatively close as Emperava still stick behind that Mercedes-Benz. James can now see this scrap ahead of him. He's got that time penalty to his name, so that's going to affect him as well. He's got to hope that the leaders in front of him all get a time penalty himself, or he can clear them and extend that 3-second gap. Forzy though still able to keep Matt in touch, and Gary 131 once again in the lead of this race. He's got that magic touch in the wet, and he is out in front leading the way as he heads into the final corners. A comfortable lead at the minute for Gary, but he has got that time penalty. Matt obviously in second place, maybe want to start lifting and start making that 3 seconds so Gary can keep hold of the lead, or is he going for outright win here? Heading up towards turn 1, Forzy still having to defend from Emperava, but Emperava's got his own worries to think about because he has got Tibbs and James breathing down his neck. DRS really holding everybody up as Phil is into the pits. Not sure why Phil was in the pits, possibly struggling on the inters. And towards the hairpin again, A. Smith, another time penalty to his name. Exit Tibbs, so a great exit there. Phil has gone to the full wet, but it's not really full wet conditions. This is still good intermediate tyre weather. And Tibbs really will have to try and hurry up on Emperava here now, because at the minute, the two in front are pulling away. He's just being held up by Forzy and Emperava. Meanwhile, Fury has made a move on Leon Fernie, and Leon Fernie drops down another place. Hasp boys both scoring points at the minute. We've got a yellow flag. Who is that? That's Bozzy. He's gone round. Has he beached it? No, he's managed to keep it going. But he's got to make sure he doesn't cause any incidences as PN comes around the corner. There is the stricken Red Bull, and no issues there. Leon Fernie now having a scrap with his dad. Smoky Devil goes through, and up a place he goes. James has actually made a place on Tibbs there, so Tibbs losing out on James, and James now up into P5. Damage limitation at the minute for James as he's still trying to work his way up the order after deciding to go on the softs, and the wet weather came. And the two Aston Martin boys really played that really well there. Emperava though still struggling to find a way past on Forzy. Forzy runs a little bit wide there, touches a little bit of gravel. Maybe that's the sign that Emperava needed. Emperava looking to the outside of the left-hander, but he can't quite get that job done again. This is really holding up Emperava now. He needs to clear him as quickly as he can. A lot of understeer there from N. He's now got James breathing down his neck. The Smoky Devil gets himself another time penalty. Matt trying to keep it squeaky clean here just to keep ahead of the guys in front. But James now has Emperava in sight. As Ivor works his way up into 11th place, he's now ahead of PN. Can he get himself onto the back of Leon Fernie? We got a yellow flag once again. That is Bozzy Boy. He's had a moment. But Emplava running to the outside of turn 3. Once again, looking at Forsey, but can't quite get the job done. Forsey hanging in there. He's holding these guys back. This is allowing the Aston Martin pairing to just keep pulling away. But Emplava, has he found an opportunity here? Yellow flag. That is Fury and Smoky Devil have both come together, and Smoky's got going. Fury's in the wall. Fury has to wait, and a full-blown safety car once again, as Fury can't get it going. He's beached now. Yep, Fury is beached. He cannot get going, so Fury is out of this race. Emplava drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car. So Emplava, Forsey, a 5-second time penalty for causing the collision with Forsey. Forsey causing the collision with N will not be able to serve his... What was going on there? I'm not sure. James is pitting. I'm not sure what for. Is he coming in for another set of tyres here? Comes into the pits. He's going on for another fresh set of inters there. And DJ Phil, another drive-through for him for speeding under the safety car. So safety car has come out. James has opted to put another set of fresh inters on to try and go to the end and push as hard as he can. Was that a wise decision there? Looks like definitely don't want to go off track or you're stuck. Definitely so, Tracy. As DJ Phil's got himself another drive-through for speeding under the safety car. PN comes in and put another fresh set of inters. Ivor's on a fresh set of inters, and the rest of the guys are all on old inters. Now, if they all decide to go and pit for some fresh inters, they're gonna drop behind James and Ivor as Emplava and Matt. What is going on here? Whoa, what is going on here, lads? Not sure what is going on here. As they all bailed into the pits, Emplava, Matt, Gary, all these guys have all caused absolute chaos here. And now I have to go under investigation as all these guys... Not sure what was going on there as Tibbs comes into the pits, Matt's into the pits, and Emplava is also in the pits. Front wing damages left, right and centre by the looks of things. What was going on there, lads? All sorts of chaos. So... I'm not sure exactly what's just happened there, to be fair. Was Ivor pinted again? No, he is behind Matt. Okay, so new running order. Gary still leads this race. He's got Forsey in second with Nausea in third. Fourth is Leon Fernie. Fifth is James. Sixth is Matt. Seventh is Ivor. Eighth is Tibbs. Ninth is Smoky Devil. 10th is PN Emplava with PM Motorsport in 11th. A Smith in 12th. That Bozzy Boy in 13th. And DJ Phil bringing up the rear in 14th place on those wet tyres. People on new tyres is James, who are lap old. Matt, Ivor, Exit Tibbs, Smoky Devil, Emplava, and PN. Now, whatever's just happened that lap has caused absolute carnage, and I'm amazed we've managed to get away with all that. But either way, I think that will have to be reviewed by the stewards, because that was a little bit of a mess, to be honest. So, we have got roughly 10 laps left to go. Gary leads this race, and I'm not sure what his tyre situation is at the minute. Nor is Forzy, and nor is Nausea. Also, time penalties is something else we've got to look into as well. So, let's have a look at the time penalties. So Gary's on 6, Forzy's on 5, Nausea's on 3, Leon Fernie's on 14, James is on 3, Matt's none, Ivor 3, Exit Tibbs none, Smokey 9, Pierre Enplava drive through, PN nothing, A Smith 14, Bozzy 9, drive through for Phil. So we're pretty much going to be into this till the end, and Gary has got to control the pace once again. Forzy has a 5-second time penalty, so is Nausea, but with 3 this time. The man who has a lot of work to do is James, because he's got to clear this traffic and get ahead of him and make 3 seconds, because Matt will not want to allow this to happen. Gary, though, will control the pace as he comes into the penultimate corner. When will he go? He's got a pack of angry cars right behind him. He's dropped the nail and off he goes. We are green once again here. And Gary 131 has had a very good restart there. Meanwhile, Forzy hasn't. And Forzy is not able to stick with Matt. Already, James has made a move on Leon Fernie. And meanwhile, Matt is also trying to have a scrap and try and clear the traffic. Oh, has Matt had contact with the car? Don't think so. Or as Bozzy's all over the shot, making contact with everyone. Tibbs has been made a contact with a few people, and Bozzy's all over the shot as they get going once again. Ivor with a 3-second time penalty. He's going to try and work his way back up this order as best he can. Smoky Devil's gone through, but he misses his corner completely, and already James has worked his way past Nausea and up into 3rd place. He's now attacking Forzy and Gary. As Max Mulder and Chassin come back drive for Tibbs. And he's trying to do so, but he's got so many cars to clear as he's right on the back of Matt, who's right on the back of Leon Fernie. There's a yellow flag further back. Who is that? That's A. Smith trying to get out of the way of some drivers. And Matt goes down the inside of Leon Fernie, not really an overtaking opportunity, and Tibbs follows him through. So Tibbs right behind Matt. Whatever Matt does, he's going to do and stick with him. Both of these not got a time penalty to their names. As you see in the background, that is M. Bravo, who's also trying to go with him. He's trying to find a way past Leon Fernie, and Leon Fernie struggling as M. Bravo comes into the pits, possibly to serve his drive-through. Meanwhile, James, with those fresh intermediate tyres, is right on the back of Forzy. He's going to look to the outside. Superior grip for James here. He's going to go right around the outside by the looks of things. And he will try his best. Forzy gives him space, James gives him space, and James with the better traction, better tyre life, he goes through. You see, oh, there's a car off. That is the Red Bull. Bozzy boy, what has happened there? He's had a moment. Has he collected some other cars? That's the question. There's A. Smith as well. It's just a little bit of sloppy driving towards the end of this race. Ivor looking down the inside of Smoky Devil. Can't find that job done. As Ivor is back underneath the inside of Smokey, but he's not quite close enough. Meanwhile, we go back to the leaders. Gary 131, he's currently 6-second penalty to his name, with James's 3-second penalty. So right now, as it all would fade out, Matt would be a race winner because he's just within reach of these guys, and James has not cleared Gary yet. Matt now onto the back of Nausea. Those fresh inters really starting to help him out, and he's dragging Tibbs with him. But Matt needs to be smart about this. He needs to take his time. Meanwhile, Leon Fernie dropping down the order. There's a scrap here for Ivor versus Smoky Devil. Ivor down the inside, and he gets that job done, but Smoky Devil is going to hold it strong on the outside. Ivor nearly dropping the rear there, and Leon Fernie goes through as well. Great racing. Just behind them is PN Motorsport as well. So we take our ways away from the leaders. As we see here, James has now made that position for the race lead, and James now leads this race. Can he extend the gap on Gary 131? That's the question. Matt's got a lot of work to do. Tibbs goes down the inside of Nausea, and he gets that job done as well. We go back to this scrap. Ivor's right in the middle of this fight between Leon Fernie, Smoky Devil, and PN Motorsport, who's got the Red Bull Bozzy trying to unlap himself there, and through he goes. All sorts of drama and chaos coming towards the last few laps of this race. Ivor gaining a place on Leon Fernie, goes right round the outside of him into turn 6, heading towards turn 7, and through he goes. Question is now, Matt needs to clear Forsey very, very quickly, because at the minute James is now in front leading this race, and he's got clean air. He has no one to worry about. Gary is into the pits, and I think those intermediates are done. He's going to the full wets. So is Gary thinking that it's too wet now? We got a yellow flag in the final sector. N Plava into the pits. Oh, as is A Smith, and he's crashed out. A Smith had enough of that one. As once again, we've got another safety car. And I think this is a bit ridiculous now. A Smith just crashing himself out of this race, causing another safety car. And I think now James's race is going to slip away, because Matt is going to bring that gap back down because of this safety car. So how long is this safety car going to take as well? It's not going to be enough for James to make that gap. So all sorts of chaos going on here to the end of this race, starting to become a little bit bumper car-y like. And Forsey into the pits, I think. Yes, he is. Exit Tibbs and move back up to 3rd place. So at this minute, Forsey's in the pits. This could be an interesting final lap of the race here, because we got James, who's currently leading, but he's got a 3-second time penalty to his name. Matt in 2nd, 3rd is Tibbs. These two don't have time penalties to their name. Nausea is just behind in 3rd, with Smoky Devil in 5th. All these guys who've pitted are going to lose out. Gary's pitted, but he's going to be just on the back of Leon Fernie and Smoky Devil, who've got massive time penalties to their name. Bozzy has been retired for blocking the pit entry. So right now, any more 2 retirements, every car will score a point. I've had enough of safety cars, says Tracy, but the safety car might be the perfect safety car for you. Let's have a look at the tyre situation. Now, the back runners have all gone to the full wets. Is it really that wet out there? It looks minging, to be fair. Have some of these guys pulled a blinder? Has Gary, Forsey, Ivor, PN and Emplava all pulled a blinder going onto the full wet tyre? There is a lot of spray, there's a lot of rain. Phil is still in the pits though. He is going to take a lot of time to get to the back of the pack. So it's going to take a while before we even go green here. Guys, if you haven't done so, then please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to be notified. I will now start a poll for your driver of the day. And it's been an interesting one for sure. We are about to get underway. Hashtag blame it on Bozzy, says Fury's granddad, and in this case the safety car is blame it on Bozzy. Nausea has had quite a quiet race, kept himself to himself. So good stuff from him here, but how quick can we go racing here? That is the question. Driver of the day votes are now out, as we've only got a couple of laps left of this session. James, Gary, Tibbs or Nausea, but you can also vote for Matt. I forgot to put Matt on that one, so actually what we'll do, sorry about that guys, we'll leave that there actually. If you think Matt was driver of the day, then vote for Matt as well, as this race is still yet to end. Laura in the chat, evening everyone, come on Leon Fernie and Smoky Devil. Hopefully we will be able to go green racing once again, but it is James who leads the way. 3-second time penalty to his name. The track is getting wetter and wetter. It's Matt in second, third is Tibbs, fourth is Nausea, fifth is Smoky Devil, sixth is Leon Fernie, seventh is Gary 131. Tracy, let's go. Forzy in eighth, ninth is Ivor, 10th is PN, 11th is N Plava, and DJ Phil bringing up the rear. I believe everybody is on the same lap now. Yep, everybody is on the same lap, so anyone can still win this race. It is all still up for grabs here. As we wait for DJ Phil to join the back of the pack. And like I said, if you think also Matt was your driver of the day, get your votes in for him as well. But right now, James is leading the pack. What a fantastic night's worth of racing we have had here. Some great races all the way round. Some questionable stuff as well that I'm not sure exactly what happened, but either way, it's been an eventful one for sure. So we are coming to the end of this night's worth of racing. Get your votes in for driver of the day. Safety car is in this lap. We have a 3-lap sprint to the end of this race. Can James hang in there? Can he control himself? Is this wet weather just a little bit too wet for the Inter runners? Who is going to come out on top? Is Matt and Tibbs going to get a race win? Is Tibbs finally going to get his first race win? Is Nausea going to get a win? Or will the wet tyre runners start working their way through as they look like they are primed for the best conditions here? As James now controls the pace, he will choose when he wants to go. We are about to go green once again. 3 laps to go. Who is going to come out on top here? We are at the halfway stage of the season. Not long to go. Hungaroring will be the next round of the season, and James has bolted. He goes into the final corner. How much grip is out there? And James has gone. Off he goes as Tibbs is straight on the attack of Matt. Can he find a way through on him up towards turn 3 as all of them are a little bit cautious, especially Inter runners. If you see there, Gary already making moves. He's cleared Leon Fernie straight away. So is the wet tyre the tyre to be on right now? But James tries to extend the gap to Matt as quickly as he possibly can. But the one to keep an eye on is Gary on the wet tyre. What can he do as Smoky Devil passes Nausea as Smoky misses his brakes? And through goes Nausea once again. Tibbs, though, is still sticking to the back of Matt. Gary has cleared all of them. Look at these wet tyre runners just swamping these cars right now. Leon Fernie on the Inters, the first one on the Inters, and he's just getting swallowed up by this pack. Smoky Devil gone wide. Gary 131 is already up into 4th place position. The wet tyre is the tyre to be on, and Gary 131 can see the lead of this race. Wow, the wet tyres are the tyre to be on. Forzy is there as well. Emplava has made a move on Smoky Devil, so the wet tyre runners are flying right now. And PN now looking to go around the outside of Leon Fernie. He gets the job done. Watch these wet tyre runners. Gary's already caught Tibbs. So Gary flying straight onto the back of these boys. Ivor now clearing Nausea. These Inter runners are done. They cannot do anything against these wet tyre runners. Gary 131 now on the attack of Tibbs right now. He's going to look up towards the hairpin. Foxy saying hi in the chat. Nice to see you in the chat. Smoky Devil still dropping down the order. Sorry, Nausea dropping down the orders. PN looking to make his way through. There goes Emplava. He's dropped the rear on the wet tyres. That's how tricky these conditions are. Can James hang in there as these guys are all too busy scrapping as it's going to just get wetter and wetter? Matt and Tibbs literally just got to hang in there. They are in the prime position to score some good points here. But Tibbs now under pressure from Gary. Gary's going to go down the inside. He understeers, but he gets the job done. Yellow flag in the final sector. Who is that? That's Nausea. And all sorts of drivers going off. That's PN. PN's going to come flying into the path of some cars. Nearly hitting a few others. Emplava, 3-second time penalty. Gary flying. Look at him go. Gary 131, another time penalty though. all those time penalties racking up. Matt now will have to let his teammate through, surely, to try and get to James and help him out. Gary right on the back. There's 1 lap to go. Exit Tibbs, though, is still there. More moves are still being made. PN has got back in front of Leon Fernie. James has only got a couple corners. He needs to find 9/10. He's pushed a little bit too hard there. And that's going to allow Matt just to get a little bit closer. James trying to push every inch out of those tyres, and he's made a mistake. Matt looks like he's going to hang in there and get this race win if he doesn't get a time penalty. Is Tibbs close enough? That is the question. Nausea dropping down the order. The intermediate runners have just not hanged in there, and the wet tyre runners have just swamped the pack. Gary is just sitting in 3rd place position. He is going to lose out to Forsey and Exit Tibbs, but what a race here. James coming into the final sector now. He needs to make this 3 seconds up. Gary's there. He's trying to push Matt, but James into the final corner. Towards the line he comes. He will win it on track. Has he done enough? Matt is going to come home in 2nd place, but he takes the win. James in 2nd. Gary. Tibbs will stay 3rd. Forsey 4th. Ivor up to 5th. Gary will drop down to 6th. Smoky Devil is going to hang in there for 7th, but I think he's got too many time penalties to his name, and he's going to lose out to N Prava. Yes, he will. And PN Motorsport. So PN, where is PN? He's into the final corner. PN will move up to 8th. Nausea will move up a few places as well. But Matahimovic wins the race just at the end there. Nausea come home in 7th. Ivor, driver of the day according to the game, so he will get a vote through the game. 10 votes in, and it is Tibbs who was your driver of the day. A great recovery from him to finish in 3rd place. James just hanging in there for 2nd and extends his championship lead as Big Boy Brazier does not score. End of the poll there, and it is Matahimovic who is your race winner here for the feature race, keeping his nose clean and not getting a time penalty, allowing him to take the win here. Great racing all the way around, but more importantly, James will extend his championship lead even more, and it's getting tighter and tighter up behind him, with Big Boy Brazier, Gary, Ivor and Matt all still battling out very closely in the points, as Tibbs is also starting to work his way into that scrap as well. What a great night's worth of racing. Matt takes the win here for Aston Martin. Here is your race results. Matahimovic is your race winner. From James in 2nd, 3rd is Tibbs, 4th is Forsey, 5th is Ivor, 6th is Gary 131, 7th was M Prava, 8th was PN Motorsport. Fast after the race went to Ivor in the end. 9th was Nausea, 10th was Smoky Devil, 11th was Leon Fernie, 12th was DJ Phil, 13th was A Smith, 14th was Smithy, 15th was That Body Boy, 16th was Fury, 17th, and out of the race was Big Boy Brazier. Overall weekend, it was Matt who came out on top with the most points. James in 2nd. Forsey did a fantastic night's worth of racing for him as well. Great stuff there from all of these guys. As Tracy says, hell yeah in the chat. Great racing here from all these guys. Your championship standings looks like this. James still leads the way and extends his championship lead as he leads here at the halfway stage with 70 points ahead of Gary 131 in 2nd. Matt is now 3rd, so Aston Martin now starting to creep onto the back of James, while Big Boy Brazier drops down to 4th after losing out some points after being in a DNF situation. Jeremy in the chat, good race, good job Tibbs, as Tibbs has got a massive army supporting him now. Can that help him work his way onto the back of Big Boy Brazier and Ivor, who are 4th and 5th, equal on points at the minute. Tibbs in 6th and slowly working on the back. Tibbs is the man, says James. And good to see James giving a shout out to Tibbs as well. Emo Guy in 7th, and Forsey even happy with 17 points there to his name, so everybody relatively happy. And Private in 8th. Forsey is now in 9th and working his way up the order. In 10th place is A Smith, 11th is Leon Fernie, PN in 12th, 13th is Nausea, 14th Monkey Boy, 15th Fury, 16th is Smoky Devil, Argent in 17th, 18th is That Body Boy, DJ Phil and Smithy both 19th and 20th is still yet to score a point. The team's championships looks like this. Aston Martin, we're both sitting in 2nd and 3rd at the minute, are up at the top. and they are looking good to in the team's championships. 15 ahead of Williams, as James is pretty much a lone soldier at the minute, as is Ivor in second in the in third, and he's 47 points behind in the AlphaTauri team. Alfa Romeo slowly starting to work on the back of AlphaTauri in fourth, Ferrari in fifth. Haas is working on Ferrari at the minute in sixth place, Alpine in seventh. Eighth is Mercedes, ninth and 10th, equal on points, is McLaren and Red Bull. What a great night's worth of racing. Thanks everybody who have been in watching the stream. If you haven't done so, please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and hit the bell to be notified so you do not miss a thing here at Simplay Motorsport. As we have reached the halfway stage of the F1 Championship, things are arting up. James is slowly working as close as he can to the championship. 70 points ahead of Gary 131, but with the support of his teammate right behind him, can the Aston Martin pairing catch James before the end of the season? Can Big Boy Brazier work his way back up? And Ivor now closing the gap to the leaders as well. Can he start to get himself in this championship fight? We head to the Hungaroring in a week's time. What can the boys do there? A tight circuit, difficult to overtake, and it's all about downforce. That is what is exciting episode to come here at F1 2022 here at Simplay Motorsport. Have a look at our sponsors down below. Have a look at the Discord if you want to get involved, and have a look at the Sim Grid as well, as we are live on there as well. But I've been Dan Davis. This has been F1 2022. Matt has won the feature, but James has still got a firm grip on this championship. See you in a week's time when we head to the Hungaroring. Good night.